What's up? So this is our Priory 14 run. This is going to be using the no knights route that I think is becoming more and more popular. I don't really know. I only tank, so I only see my routes, but I significantly prefer this route. I think it's way better, way safer, and it's a little bit faster. You can skip those first four footmen, but honestly, you can literally just drag them along with you, and it just works fine. So I've changed to doing this because it's less complicated. And then you pick up 2 packs from the fountain, and then you pick up Suleiman, and you put your ass on the stairs so that you don't get knocked back. This is obviously a lustful, and it is very scary, so you're committing basically everything to get through this, making sure you're picking up these kicks as much as you can. You want to make sure you get yourself on the left side of the stairs so that you're far away from the patrolling knights. We won't even see them here, but we had literally just bricked this key on a 14 right before this run because I was too far on the right and we got the knights. Try and make sure you stop as many defends as you can.
Shame, ma'am. Your chaining grounds fall to the intruders.
Make sure you pick up Chainmail as she comes in so she doesn't one-shot one of your friends. One thing to know about the mini-bosses, Chainmail and Dual Maul, that you summon, they always run to the corpse of the other one you killed, so that's how you can bait them to certain spots if you happen to be doing a route that needs you to. So we could have literally just left her there at his body if we wanted. And we're just continuing to drag her through small packs to pick up count while we focus her down. Bleed gets a little scary for a second there. I'm dumb, so I stand in a trap. I'm also not sure why I don't Tiger's Lust myself, but again, that's just because I'm dumb. If you don't have a stop for the defense, just try and drag other stuff out of them. These lynxes are pretty free now, ever since I nerfed them. So you'll see we pull quite a few of them on this route. It lets us pick up a lot of that count that we aren't getting from the knights for relatively free. Coming through here, I think I meant to pull that sharpshooter into this that's on the side there, and I didn't because I realized when we get to the first boss that we are slightly short, and we end up having to pull an extra 3-pack because of it, but it ended up being fine. but it would have been better had I just pulled that at this time. These neophytes, they die fast, but they are fucking scary for tanks, so make sure you're rolling defensives while you're tanking them. I remember when we first started doing 12s and stuff in here, I literally got one shot by the neophytes walking in and autoing me at least once. So most of that stuff's down. I'm going to walk down. I'm going to CC one of the conjurers just so we don't have too many kicks and pull in this plus the light spawn. If Amia has her reflective shield up, you do not want to be DPSing while purification is going. You'll die if you are both getting purified and DPSing the reflective shield, so just be aware. If you pulled them in earlier so that the light spawn's going to blow up before Amia dies, you want to make sure that you are able to kick Amia to get her out of the thing, because it's not the end of the world if she heals, but it's not good. I'm moving kind of slow here because I'm trying to figure out what I want to combine Dual Maul into. I should have just gone straight into that light spawn pack on the right, but I played it slow, and it was fine. If you are short on kicks, you can always let that Cinder Blast go off. You'll notice it does no damage to me, and then it's a magic debuff, so the healer can just insta-cleanse you, and you're good to go. Yeah, see, this is where I'm just hesitating, and I should have been into this light spawn pack on the right ages ago. Oh, there's our early key raw sacrifice. Man, I wait forever to go into that light spawn pack. What am I doing? Oh, I'm trying to figure out if I need it or not. I'm just dumb. Okay. Yeah, so it's not the end of the world, but I definitely should have had this pack mostly done by now. I don't quite get that Conjurer out, but again, it's not the end of the world. The bigger problem of not getting that Conjurer out is that everything was just spread out so much the whole time. We have a little miscommunication here. I'm sure you can run around the left where they were going to go, but I feel like it's super safe to go the way that I'm going. But we were slow, and then people had to wait, which ended up fine, but I don't know. Really bad on my tiger. Oh yeah, look at that. I don't think I got that Tiger's Lust out until the dot was already done. So that was kind of useless. And then we've got... I mean, I think we send Lust on this boss. You can either send it here or you can save it for the pull after. I don't think we get 4 Lusts out of this place. I don't think we were thinking about it, so... But if you do send it on CD, you can get 4, which is usually worth it. This boss is pretty straightforward, just try not to die as the tank and don't stand and stuff. You do take a metric ton of damage throughout this fight. This is another extremely good mud fight because you've constantly got a dot on you to give you CDR. Yeah, I realize now that I'm like 1% short, so we're gonna pull that 3-pack over on the side. Do we have CDs for that? 2 people had CDs running for that, I think, so that's fine. We're just going to line of sight them over.
Was an Arathi hero.
We pull a moderate amount of these sharpshooters throughout this run. I would love to skip more of them there. Since we don't run DK a lot, they're kind of annoying, but it's not the end of the world. If there's just one, it's okay, because you can just drag other stuff onto them. No, this next pull is fairly scary, but it's not that bad. So going in and to the left, like we do here, is more tank damage, because this is giving you 3 paladins and then a bunch of Templars, and the Templars are what really crank you as a tank here. If you go in and to the right, you're going to have 4 paladins and less Templars, so it's more group damage. So if your tank is stronger, you want to go left. If your healer's stronger, you want to go right. I don't necessarily think that I'm a particularly strong tank for this, but we can handle it fine on a 14, so I think it's just better to have more of the damage funneled into your tank than into your group. Brew is pretty good at dealing with the Templars, though. You can kite them out pretty easily. And then we're going to do a little bit of a recovery pull, just a single pull here.
Destroy these outsiders.
We end up with the one paladin significantly higher than the others, so I think we just chain it into the other side. And then I pull the stair pack a little bit slower than I normally would. Normally I would go right over and grab the stair pack with these guys, but I'm going to wait until that paladin goes away, and then we're going to work on the priest a bit too, since we're making good time. Unless you have a lot of confidence in your healer, you don't necessarily want to do 4 paladin pulls. 3 paladin pulls are... And any healer that's going to get 3k, I would expect to be able to handle a 3 paladin pull, but 4 paladin pulls can be pretty scary. The sacred tools will never overlap, but you just end up having to top people over and over and over again so regularly. It's definitely doable, it's just less safe.
Her usefulness to the Empire has passed. They've served their purpose. Baron, demonstrate your worth.
Those who oppose the Emperor.
So, for Braun Pike, the name of the game with Braun Pike is patience, and it's not being patient is what kills a lot of pugs. As Brewmaster, I can take a triple stack of the dot pretty easily, with even with just Celestial Brews and minor defensives. But on the 5 stacks, I'm going to need some help, or we're going to have to really stagger it. You'll see how I do it coming up here in a second. When the pyre goes out, everybody just needs to chill and wait for the shields to go out. Oh, and then yeah, as you'll notice, I fucked that up pretty well. But when you don't accidentally roll into the shields, you can use it to stack the dot quicker. I only got 2 stacks there, so I didn't even commit a big defensive. I just used Celestial Brew. So this is going to be a 5 stack. It always alternates 3 stacks, 5 stacks, 3 stacks, 5 stacks. And again, everybody just chill and wait for shields. Let people get topped. As you can see, we've got 15 seconds still before it blows up. And Rawl takes a 2 stack and then cloaks it off, which is perfect. If you're a rogue, you can cloak it, but you can't cloak and then run in. You have to get your stacks and then cloak afterwards to remove them. AMS, you can AMS before, or Divine Shield, you can AMS, or Divine Shield you can shield before and just soak a bunch of them. I'm going to actually soak the stacks properly this time so that I don't get a long refresh on the dot. So you see I roll in lighter than air in to get 2 quick stacks, and then I roll back in to get the 3rd stack without getting a ton of time between when I apply them.
Another victory.
I think this is the last 5 stack we're going to have to deal with. Again, just wait for shields, no rush. And then I should have just waited for my dot to fall off, but I decided to run in and take a 3 stack because I was feeling confident, I guess. But you can definitely, like, the dot only lasts 10 seconds, and you have 15 at that point, so I could easily do 2 stacks, wait 10 seconds for it to fall off, then 2 stacks. It wouldn't be that bad.
Prey has warped the Priory from a place of contemplation to an uprising. Why? She has always preached of the strength of the Emperor's will, but to turn against us is madness.
You can move ahead up the stairs here as the tank, but I don't know. It's fine to just plant and let DPS get this stuff mostly down. If you leave stuff running around, it slows down your DPS too.
Veladar is the crucible. It burns away weakness. Its blinding light reveals.
I don't even really know if it's important to pull this back anymore. Everybody's always done it, so I still do it. Make sure someone's assigned to kicking the firebolt volley. Sock generally does it for us, but just make sure somebody's doing it. And I'm just not... Oh, there we go. I was going to say I'm just not using my fully stacked Celestial Brew for some reason, but I finally did. There's nothing really new in any of these mobs, so we'll speed up till we get to Brown Pike. This patrol that you do after this is always in a terrible spot. I think you can, pull Brown Pike and those two priests back, but it's safer to just be patient. We don't have really good ranged kicks in this comp, so we just have to figure it out. Well, we have Sock, which is one good one, but Warlock, Demonology range kick is a stun, so it doesn't move them in, unfortunately. Oops, I don't want that slow. So make sure your healer has mana going into Brown Pike. This is a big healing intensive fight. Oh, this is, I think, where we figured out that Ox statue sitting in Healing Rain keeps Sock in combat. So if you're playing Brew, that's something apparently you need to know if you're playing with a Shaman. So he couldn't drink for a minute there. Blazing Strike, if you're tanking, is legit pretty scary. Make sure you try to defensive most of them. It's another good mud one because it's a dot, so you get all that juicy CDR. You can probably pull the side packs in a lot earlier than I do here, but I know we're cruising and I don't want to risk anything, so I don't do it right away. Yeah, see, I pulled them in now, but I definitely could have pulled them in ages before that.
No Arathi leaves the Emperor's service, even in death.
These are just some boring footmans. We'll speed past them. I try to leg sweep, so if they're CC'd when they die, they don't blow up. I try to time a leg sweep. I think I only get one to not blow up, but, you know, every little bit helps. So the only interesting tech on this boss is the scary overlap is when she has inner fire going on. You'll see it on the top left, and she does blinding light while it's going on. So if that's happening, A, you want to have a defensive going, but B, so yeah, this is the overlap. But you can desync them if they get synced, because if you kick her cast when a blinding light is up next, it'll lock out the blinding light for a cycle. And then eventually you'll get it so that it doesn't line up. It's kind of tricky to do, and I haven't really figured out a reliable way to do it, but basically if they're lining up, try to kick the cast. If they're not lining up, you can kind of just let them go through, to be completely honest. Because they just hit the tank and there's like no other damage here. If we were being super crafty, we could be having Adept, Taunt, and Spell Reflect them, but we needed the IO, so we just weren't fucking around. Yeah, you can see right now that they're not going to be lined up, so we don't need to kick things. Well, I mean, we're going to the next phase anyway. And this is going to be your last lust pretty much every time. I got almost nothing with that leg sweep, which was terrible, but normally I try and leg sweep all of them just to keep my melee alive. And then you just kind of do the same thing for the rest of this boss, but up here. Yeah, so inner fire's up, and we're going to get the blinding light. So this is the scary overlap. You're always going to want to defensive that if you can. Boom. And that's how I would suggest doing a Priory in a 3k range key.